Morning. We just wrapped up on the Michael and Joi in the Morning show, and the topic that there was today was Chapter 8. We were reviewing Chapter 8 in the manual Understanding a Man, and so that chapter is called Sexual Rejection and how we really feel about intimacy. And so it was an interesting moment as we started talking about the topic. It had gone, I guess we had gone to commercial or whatever, and Michael made a comment about, hey, it's Thursday. Oh, I'm not getting any. I might get some on Friday. And it was 3 married men in there, and all 3 reacted the same. They were just like, yeah, So it's kind of funny, and then he said maybe on Sunday, and so we were just like, yeah. And so I would love to throw this out to the ladies or whatever. If you think about it, it's 3 men that are not related, never knew each other beforehand, and we all reacted the same. And I just find it interesting. There's got to be something. And so my question, and particularly in that chapter, ladies, what we're discussing. And yes, I can understand that it can come from a female's perspective as well, but this is called Understanding a Man, okay? So, we're trying to give you the tools of how we think, right? Because we don't normally talk. So, the statements in there is number one of the pieces that you hear is that how single men don't run into sexual rejection like that, and the question is, why is that? None of the single men that were in the manual even understood that concept. They were like, rejected from sex? What? I don't even understand that. But the married men were just like, just giving some tips along those lines, like, hey, look, this is how we feel, alienated, confused, there's anger, and there's different adjectives that they feel when they are, when they might be rejected. So the question is, ladies, what's the difference? What's the difference between, and I understand, because you had kids before you got married, so don't throw the kids in there, okay? And even for the ones that did not, it's still the same thing that these men are hearing. And the reason why that I felt like this topic was important is because when we're hanging out as men, this is the type of conversation that will come up, and sometimes folks will be headed home and be like, well, I'm not going to get none when I get home. I can't tap her on the shoulder, and one of the questions, or one of the comments that we spoke of as well in the manual is this. And it's, if there was a camera that followed your man around in your home, kind of like that show that everybody liked to watch called Scandal, and we always found it so funny how many women empathize with Fritz, of just saying, well, she treats him like this, she treats him like that, that's why he steps out with Olivia, he's still cheating. How are you empathizing with him? So, but then let's flip it to you. What if a camera followed your husband around? What would your husband be saying, on that camera with regard to, the sexual rejection that, and the intimacy that you do or don't do? And this is just a question for you. Now, I know every woman feels like their stuff turns into sunshine. That sounds great. But no, if we really were to ask him, because there's got to be some type of more of an understanding that, ladies, that I want you to have in this regard, because this is what the men are saying. And so I'd say about 90% of the men, and again, you can read in the manual, you'll see what these men are saying. So I think that this is important to bring forward, because infidelity is the number one reason why there is a separation from a divorce perspective in marriages, and a lot of that, sometimes has to do with sex. So let's just really kind of take a look at this. Let's have some mature conversations with a significant other. Find out how they feel. If you are tired that night, it's okay. You want to understand the sexual appetite of your significant other, right? And just maybe, no, baby, maybe not tonight, but XYZ night. See, you can give an alternative, but when you just say no, ladies, and shut it down, it's going to hurt your man, all right? And he's going to feel some kind of way. And, you're the one that signed up for forever. When you say I do, you sign up for forever. And so if you're going to sign up for forever, you have to sign up for what forever role is going to be there for you. And that is that you have to do your due diligence, and whether you're tired, B12 shot, okay, or just do some extra vitamins, whatever, save a little bit in your tank. Don't empty it at work and then come home and tell him that he's tired. No, because who comes first? Your job or your spouse? So just a couple of pieces. Take a look at the bullet points that's in the back of the manual. It will give you some key tools to help you have a lasting relationship, so that sexual rejection in your household is not something that you're even going to have to worry about, okay? Take care. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next Friday. I forgot what the topic's going to be. It's going to be something good, so tune back in, posted on what that topic's going to be. All right, take care.